I think the underlying theme is never give up on your dreams.
Everybody didn't really want to go to regular jobs, they just want to keep playing on and on.
The only piece that's missing is performing the music, and I just, for a number of years, blocked that out. In fact, most people up until a couple of years ago don't even know that I was ever involved musically back 40 years ago.
I mean, I wanted to do this as my life. It wasn't just a hobby or a passing fancy. So that was my dream.
Something that was 40 years ago, it's still alive. So it might have had a little art in it, you know, for it to survive.
Ron George, bass and vocals, Afterglow.
I'm Roger Swanson, keyboardist and vocalist for Afterglow.
Larry Alexander, drummer for Afterglow.
Tony Tecumseh, singer, guitarist, and songwriter, Afterglow.
Gene Ressler, singer, guitar player, Afterglow.
Dream away, can't spend my whole life dreaming. Scheme away, can't spend my whole life scheming.
I am the mayor of Alton, California. I've been in office since 2006. Is Manager Mon here?
Mayor Mon.
Hey,
How are you?
good to
morning.
see you. Good morning.
Doing hazardous fuels reduction. Natural resource consulting firm, and we do restoration work, fuels reduction, watershed analysis.
Good morning, Thelma. We did a lot of work on building up San Francisco here. It's mechanical engineering, by the way, which is everything that goes into a building. So it's like a huge robot, and that's what mechanical does. We do all the systems.
And I'm kind of slow these days. I went to school and I came within one term of completing medical technology. I really didn't have any plans of getting married, but I ended up married. I didn't stick around to jobs very long, and 1 or 2 years at a job would drive me up the wall. I'd get to the point where you know, I can't continue in this. I got to go and try something else, and that's held me back from a lot of things. But music is one of the things that I enjoyed all my life and still enjoy it.
Well, this is my messy office where I hang out. I was trying to finish up your tax return, and I wasn't sure that you'd listed your charitable miles. I got my license as a CPA in 1981. Over 30 years that I've been doing tax returns.
We're just, you know, young guys from the sticks. Boondocks.
Yeah, country bumpkins, that's us.
I graduated from high school in '64, and it was Gene and Tony and I, and then that's when we met Roger and Ron, and that became the core group, and we went to college at Siskiyou together. First name of the band was GT and the Go-Go's, and then it transitioned into the Medallions. We played all around in the pizza parlor, and we played in Wairika a couple of times, and the fair.
The Turtles are right here in the armory.
Yeah, and we played that in Wairika. And the Bo Brummer came into town, and he invited us to come to the show. We didn't become Afterglow until we were pretty much done with the album.
Kind of play a melody in your mind and you hear them on and on and on. And I think that was a key to the music that Tony wrote, that this music was so melodic that that keeps coming back in your mind and your head.
Tony was our spiritual leader. I'm sorry, just like. He taught us how to play with feeling instead of just mechanically playing.
I'm not the doer I just come up with ideas. I need facilitators. You know, if I come up with an idea, I need somebody to facilitate it, to take it and run with it. I never really felt that words were, you know, that important, and you know, were a song. I felt, you know, words were just an excuse to sing. I think the artist is the person that sees or feels something. They say, I got to record that. I can't let that pass by. I gotta capture it somehow and keep it alive. I was never satisfied with what I done. There was something always missing.
It's obvious what Tony wrote. You know, it came from, you know, his soul and spirit.
It's all recording emotions, being a human being, feeling the love, the whole gamut.
You know, his music and his process touched us as well. And I see it touching others. You know, like the old saying, you don't know, in your life, you don't know how you touch things, you know. But it's that human-to-human contact. We were related, we had a record deal, and we were supposed to come up with 20 songs. And our typical thing was going to school in the winter and get a job in the summer. So we decided, well, we're going to just take the summer off. My parents at home, very supportive, and said, yeah, they'll feed us. And they moved all the furniture out of the living room, and we basically lived here all summer, and we practiced, wrote music, and rehearsed.
This time kind of blurs. I'm not even sure what year we were in Fort Jones.
It was a magic summer for us.
We had great experiences playing various places and practicing that summer to put together the album.
We got a whole 3 months to get our songs together and the camaraderie.
It was a long, slow process. It seemed slow at the time.
We played music, we rehearsed, and tried to get ready for the recording.
Zoning out.
Yeah.
That was the main part of it. The surfers call it stoked.
Well, it was pretty exciting from the standpoint of we'd grown up in a small community, and yet here we were going to a bigger city, to San Francisco, to record an album.
Coming to San Francisco to cut the record, that was very exciting. I'd never been to San Francisco much.
Southern California started in San Francisco as far as we were concerned.
I guess it was the closest recording studio that was available, so that's why we ended up there.
I think the thing I noticed was the amount of traffic compared to what we had up in Siskiyou County, and we'd be on roads up there where you wouldn't see a car for an hour, and here they were going by every few seconds as we went across the Bay Bridge into San Francisco.
And all this traffic passes right and left and coming across the Bay Bridge. I think it cost like 50 cents to pay for parking in those days. You know, it was not that it was expensive, but it was like, why do you have to pay for parking?
I really liked the 60s, you know, there was an explosion of music.
Well, that was during the era when a lot of groups, rock and roll was really kicking off. Haight-Ashbury, Jefferson Airplane, and so I think we probably had the same dreams that many of those young guys and gals had of making music during that time.
This is the street Golden State Recordings used to be on.
Leo Kulka, who was the owner of Golden State Recorders in San Francisco, and at that time he was kind of the funnel for all the San Francisco groups to the record labels.
Walk right by and think, wow, how time has changed, huh? Here's where Golden State used to be. This is 665 Harrison. And Leo, he'd always be there waiting for us, shaking our hands. and we load up all of our instruments to this door and then deposit them into the recording studio, which was right here.
Colca offered us the Avalon and the Fillmore. And at that time I heard the Beach Boys were booed off the stage.
Right.
And I said, we better not try.
Can you imagine coming to San Francisco and to a recording studio? I mean, for a couple, you know, small town boys, that was a big thing for us.
I knew it was a long shot, and I thought, you know, it's a opportunity.
This was a whole different ball game of putting together music and being rushed into a studio without much chance to get used to the atmosphere.
We knew nothing about the business side, and they're pretty trusting by nature.
Gullible, of course, we believed everything we heard, and went in there and played our songs.
In the big studio and all the bright lights and the guys behind the glass and all the rest of the group was staring at me, and I was supposed to start the song, and I got self-conscious.
But then when you hear the playback, you know, they say, okay, let's play it back, So we take our instruments off and we sit back, and here comes all the sound, you know, on their big speakers, and well, you're pretty impressed. You say, wow, that sounds good.
Most of the songs were done in one take, you know.
No redos. Once through, and that was it. And it was pretty rushed.
What we released in that album was actually, we thought were more or less a demo tape. It wasn't the finished product.
This is a demo. We're not trying for perfection here, so we're going to go once through and market it, see if we can sell it. We weren't happy with everything, but we let it go at that.
Finally, that following spring, when the album came out, Leo called me and Chico and said, it's here, I got a box of records for you, and wow, I was stoked. So I drove to San Francisco immediately just to pick it up. And he said, here it is, here's the box, congratulations. And he was doing a session, and so it was a real quick thing. I went out in the car, opened it up, you know, and looked at it, and I was just like, what is this? Because we'd spent 4 or 5 days in San Francisco doing album shoots, you know, the real photos and trying to get the afterglow effect and all that sort of thing. And here was this caricature of us and this strange looking psychedelic type of, because we weren't psychedelic. It didn't fit our image, you know, or what we had envisioned. So I drive back to Chico and show it to the guys, and we were kind of like, gee whiz, it was really a letdown. And so we said, well, let's listen to it. And all those times in the studio, and we'd make a little mistake or something, they said, well, don't worry about it, we'll take care of that electronically. It didn't sound like they'd done anything.
Susie,
The record company we went with never did give no push to it.
Promotions didn't come, and it didn't seem like the record company put out a lot of promotion to it. We did a self-promotional tour on the West Coast and talked to every radio station on the West Coast. Got some play. It did really well regionally. Was #1 at a station in Reading for a couple of weeks. Riding Home Again was #1 for 21 weeks at the old KSYC here in Wairika. Of course, it's our home area.
not a worry, not a care.
But then, you know, our vision of tours or performances and concerts just never happened. And so it was really a bittersweet, disappointing experience. The reason we did it wasn't for the attention of the crowd or to be important, we just enjoyed it.
We were at a place where we needed to make a decision as a group, and some of us chose to continue on with music, playing nightclubs in various places, and others, like myself, chose to finish up our education and move on in that direction.
They went down to do some lounge work in in the Nevada area. That didn't sound like a lot of fun to me.
Another time I might have been sad.
It was a hard decision to decide not to continue on with the rest of the guys. I sold my instruments. I stayed away from playing or singing at all. I just felt that I just couldn't afford to be tugged in two different directions, and once I made my choice, I completely walked away from performing.
Riding home again.
Do I think the band failed? That's a tough question. I don't think we failed as a group. We gave it our all. We gave everything we had. But the business, I still don't know about the recording business and what happens behind the scenes. So I think that failed us.
I don't think I ever thought we failed. I mean, I knew we weren't getting recognition, but I thought we did a good job for what we did. And we had a record that we could play once in a while and impress our friends.
Larry and I fought it to the bitter end.
I kind of regret that I didn't continue on with the group.
I really get emotional because I haven't really gotten over the frustration, because it was a pretty painful time when we realized that things weren't going like we had envisioned.
I found this psychedelic album buried in this shelf, and I pulled it out, and he was sitting there, and I said, "What's this doing here?" And he's like, "Oh, that's my album." We were all pretty excited, but he's like, yeah, he had told the story a lot of times, you could tell. And I said, "It's not very good," and he said, "No, it's real good."
A financial lady, she brought out a little portable record player that played 33.
And we played it, and right in the middle of it, Larry came in, and we were liking it. It was like the Birds, and it was really neat sounding.
I walked in there, I go, "Oh man, Ray, what do you think?" And I said, "Okay, great," and it was, fine. Put it away.
A couple months go by, and Larry comes in and asks me, "What's eBay? We got to buy some science equipment on eBay. What is eBay?" And I said, "Oh, it's a place you look up stuff and you can buy stuff." And I said, "I know, we should look up your album." So I type in Afterglow just in Google, I think, and boom, 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 boom.
Boom, the album picks up.
First time I saw it pop up on the screen, I go, wow.
And what got my eye, I said it was re-released in 1995, and I went, "What?"
There's fan clubs, there's chat rooms. People had talked about this long-lost band from Northern California, and they could not believe how good it was, and nobody could find these guys. Larry had to track down the other band members. They hadn't spoken in 35 years.
I got on the phone, I called everybody I knew. You wouldn't believe what's going on.
Larry called New York, where the people, Sunday's Music, were that re-released the album. And he said, "This is Larry Alexander from Afterglow." And the guy says, "The drummer?" And he says, "Yeah, the drummer." He goes, "We've been looking for you guys for 15 years.
We couldn't find him, and he really looked hard. And he said, "Okay, we're going to put it out. There's a great public clamor for this album."
I thought it was dead and gone a long time ago.
This was a very peaceful, exciting album, I think. A real piece of art from that beautiful time. The sound of the album is all over the map. It's got a lot of little things in there. It's kind of acoustic, it's kind of electric, it's kind of melodic, it's kind of noisy. Susie's Gone, which is, who knows what it is. It's psychedelic, to say the least. They've had a cult following in Japan. I mean, they have fans in Europe and Africa and who knows where else. For a pristine copy, it probably cost you $800, which is a pretty penny for a piece of vinyl that originally cost $3.98.
All of a sudden, 40 years later, bam, here we are.
This thing has its own life. It's its own entity, and it's out there. It's been going strong all these years while we've been just going on with our life.
I never gave up the thought that one of these days more people is going to hear us, but I didn't know it to this degree. You can't buy this kind of stuff, it just happens.
Hey, how are you?
you?
You look good. You look real good.
This whole deal is kind of surreal. It's like a fiction movie, something that was 40 years ago. It's still alive.
And to come back together and start performing again, in some ways it's been like we've been doing it all along.
Don't lose your dreams. They maybe get delayed once in a while, but you have a dream, hang on to that. And, you know, life's pathways seem to have a funny way of getting you there, and this is a prime example.
These are some of my best friends. We've been through a lot together. Yeah, you're right, brings up emotion. Sorry.
Well, it's a great pleasure for me to be here to see you guys all reformed like this, because we love your album, and we've sold millions of copies, unbeknownst to you.
Whoa.
No.
Don't give
We've
us
sold
any
a lot of
numbers.
them, though.
We'll just have bad feelings.
Yeah, no. You're about to get a royalty statement, which is the best part of the whole thing. So now that we know who the actual people in the band are.
Wow.
I think dreams is what you pursue until it will no longer support you. Then you look at career and go and do whatever will sustain you. I don't know what the emotion is, but it comes up when I really think about it. And I just want it to happen. There's absolutely no other feeling in the entire world when you're out there doing what you really love. It's, you know, it's that emotion way down and deep of you, and it's what you love. What else is there? I go to work every day, but in the morning, I always have my quiet time in the morning, and I can't help but thinking what's happening with the group, where it's going, and then I go to work, and maybe reality hits. You know, the phone calls start, the emails, but then when I come home and pick up the bass, and I say, this is what's going to happen. The day work, the challenges, the overwork is temporary. It's not going to last much longer, and I think the dream's going to happen.
So I give you, ladies and gentlemen, Afterglow.
Just a minute, you don't have to go. Not just now when I need you so. Here's a scene and the sky above, and the night just made for love, for love, for love. Another time wouldn't be just right. It'd be a waste just to lose this night, a night for you and me.
Yeah, when we played at the College of the Siskiyou, I mean, it was just amazing. I mean, I have never played on a venue like that in my whole life, so it was quite an experience for me to be on that kind of a stage. And the support afterwards was incredible. I mean, we sold the CDs, and the fan support was just exciting.
Another time wouldn't
last several years. He didn't have the best of life's conditions, but his spirit was always very high, always had a sense of humor. And for those of you who've seen part of the documentary or will see the documentary, you can see the interviews we had with him up here, and he was doing well. So here's to you, Tony, and we're thinking about you, and we'll do the best we can by you as the future unfolds. Who knows what happened, but we'll take care of you, your legacy, and your family.
Nighttime surrounds us with a tender sigh. My, isn't it funny how the time does fly? My, oh my, what a lucky guy am I. For love, for love, for love, for love. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So nice to see you.